Hey, gun people. This is an older case, but it's coming up because I guess the woman, I still can't find out if she's still employed or if she's working or not. So a female officer goes to a front door with other cops to do a probation search on this 17-year-old's father who's on probation and shoots him in the chest, kills him dead. And one grand jury said she should be charged. The DA took it back to a second grand jury and they said let her go. And it turns out she was fired from her previous agency, and now she was hired by this agency and killed a 17-year-old. And I can't figure out, they've pretty much did a good job at hiding this woman. So again, this happened in Georgia. He was 17, single gunshot moved by unidentified officer. I've got her name here in a second. He was holding this in his hand. She said she thought it was a gun. He opened his door after they knocked, had this in his hand, and was shot in the chest and killed by a female officer who was fired from another agency. And now they're protecting her. They actually removed her picture from the website of the police department. And there's really not a whole lot of update. Like I said, one grand jury said charge her. Another one said don't charge her. These guys lived in a trailer park. White kid shot by white police officer. No racial hate angle. So most people didn't hear about it. This article goes over how her name is Corporal Beth. She's a corporal. She was promoted probably for killing the 17-year-old who was unarmed because she was a fear of her life. Because women are equal and we need to hire them, and you can't, if you don't hire them, you're sexist. Doesn't matter if they're qualified or not. She mistakenly shot the teen while serving a probation arrest warrant on his father. I thought it was a probation search. I didn't read arrest warrant. Evidence shows she failed to identify herself as the police. When she came to the door with her gun drawn, the teen opened the door. She shot him in the chest thinking he had a gun, and he didn't. Somewhere, one of the articles I read, she fell to her knees after she shot him and started crying because she knew she shouldn't have shot him. But Rick, if she cried, it was okay. The 17-year-old's dead, people. Tears don't bring people back. Grand jurors are not technicians, they're common people. She wasn't presented to the first grand jury, which voted to hold her responsible, but she was there on the second grand jury and probably cried, and she was cleared of all criminal charges. Perfect. Here's a picture of the kind officer. I think they got her picture here real quick on this case. Officer disciplined at last job. Here was a news report on the incident.
Police officer who shot and killed a 17-year-old boy when he answered the door. Channel 2's Craig Lucy is at the Uharli Police Department, which is where the officer started working after being fired from another metro area police department.
Under Meet Our Officers on the Uharli Police Department's website, Corporal Beth Gatney is the only one of 9 not shown. The department took her picture down while she remains on administrative leave. We went to Corporal Beth Gatney's home, and while there, she shut all the blinds and didn't answer the door. A few minutes later, a Uharli police officer drove by to see what we were doing. We wanted to get Corporal Gatney's side of the story after she fatally shot aspiring Marine 17-year-old Christopher Roop February 14. Uharli police say Roop was pointing a gun at their officer when they knocked on the door to serve a probation warrant for the teen's father. But the Roop's attorney says family members told him the teen was holding a Nintendo Wii controller. The GBI won't comment on the evidence recovered at the scene. We did spot Christopher Roop's father at the home Tuesday, but he pulled away as soon as we pulled up. Neighbors tell us Corporal Gatney patrolled the area at least twice a week.
She was a good person.
Well, she was a good person. I think, what do they say? She gave out cards or something.
Through talked to the kids and gave stickers out to the kids.
So today I'm going to give you a sticker. Tomorrow I'm going to kill you because I'm in fear of my life. And that makes her a good person. Are you freaking kidding me? If a grand jury said she should be charged on the first incident where they didn't see her, obviously there was no gun and they thought she was not good. The second grand jury, where she came and cried, they let her loose and exonerated her of all charges. This is why cops aren't trusted. You lower the standard. You hire people that shouldn't be cops. You make good cops tired of working with bad cops. You don't hold cops accountable. You got crooked DAs covering up for cops. You got crooked courts allowing cops to lie and do things when they see it. And there's nobody. I mean, just think if you had a prosecutor hired to do nothing but review police footage and charge cops. Just think of the attitude change in cops. Here's where they said she was terminated from the other agency after 10 years. Doesn't say what for, though. Was terminated due to exhausting her family and medical leave entitlement. That's why they terminated her? Really? You get terminated now because you use your medical leave? Give me a freaking break. Here's the article from, I think this is the Daily Mail out of UK. She came out of the house, put her hands, and put her head in her hands and was sobbing. Supposedly he opened the door with a BB gun. In my opinion, I think he was playing a Nintendo game. And I think they said, and the fact that GBI won't release his finding, we call that a clue. See, cops covering for cops lead to more mistrust and more hate in the police. Nobody likes to be policed by a bunch of out-of-control, lawless, freaking maniacs. And that's what most people perceive cops now. Maybe not most. Maybe I'm the minority. I don't know. Well, again, I know this case is a few years old, but just another example of the hundreds of cases brushed under the rug that doesn't get media attention, is not plastered all over the media, so there's no outrage. See, we can't push a racist, it's only black people getting shot narrative if we actually give airtime when people are shot who aren't black. Lying left-wing media in cohorts with the lying government. It's going to come to a head, and I don't know how it's going to end. But anyway, we'll end that there.